Right, so hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Claire. I'm here to help you with your twin flame inner union and whatever's happening in the physical. And I know for a lot of people that's fuck all, but for some people there is stuff happening. So, yeah, I really meant to film something a lot sooner, but here we are. So it's actually it's not very late. It's actually 9 o'clock at night, so this is a lot later than what I would normally film, and it's also a bit chilly, so I might put my jumper on in a minute. But it's weirdly cold here for this time of year. It's like sometimes it's quite like earlier today I think it was 16 at one point, and then now it's just the temperature really drops at night. So yeah, everything I do is channeling, so meaning the way that I approach the video is going to have something to do with this. So for once, it's not, I do approach it calmly too, but this feels quite calm. So it's either I'm channeling the calm energy of a divine feminine that is being guided to stay in calm, peaceful energy, especially if you sense that your twin is, well, basically not in that. Whether they're going through their own emotional storm in hermit mode, or there could be like stuff around them, or just feeling just going through your own spiritual awakening. Or this could be one of the awakened divine masculines, regardless of gender, that have got themselves grounded and feeling calm and ready for the next part of their journey, 144. So I think so. Oh dear. So before I've even went to get, and that's the thing, like it's quite funny when I'm shuffling. It's not that I never get jumpers, but I don't get as many jumpers as that what I could see when I've watched other people. It's quite funny. Like some people, it's like they literally jump everyone, but it's with me. I usually have to sense when to just get the card. But with this deck, I do like that they do jump out. But look, I'm in so much pain, so I do feel it's probably gonna. I'll put it back and see if it comes out again. I feel this is the theme of this. Now, what I'm going to say openly. So, if you're new to me, I open up sacred space and I pray and I clear the energy before I come on to any video, whether I'm face to face or whether it's just my hands. Even if it seems like I've just flung myself on there, I never have. I do feel at some point I'll be guided to, for the sake of yous watching, and integrate some kind of clearing in for you. You know what I mean? But just now, just know that I have prayed before I come on, and I'm sending the healing energy and grounding while I'm doing this. Oh yeah, they're pulling my eyes over at the Mary Magdalene. So I already shared the Mary Magdalene messages today, which were basically about the feminines being guided. Oh yeah, so actually that fits. Like the feminines are being guided to rest more, go within, possibly even like fast and pray and go into like a state of like a dark room, which, like I've said before, I can do that anyway. Like when I hit burnout stage, that's what I need to do. If it's just like just too much overwhelm. But this would be with the intention of opening up to different kind of insights and visions. Now again, some of you might be like me, they just fucking hit me all day long. That's why I called myself this, do you know what I mean? Or like they gave me a meditation almost 9 years ago. To the day, almost 9 years ago to the day. But it is good to go into quiet meditation and I try to get myself to do that at least on the Monday before Mediumship Monday, because I'm always in a meditative state, really. That's the best way to put it. So what else? So basically the gist of this is going to be, right, what I'm going to say is, that I have done other ones that have been guided for different reasons that wasn't the right time to publish it. But sometimes they just give me the nod and be like, right, publish it now, like without watching again, because they're quite long. One's 90 minutes, one's an hour. I'm not going to sit and watch them more than once. Like, so I was drawn to 441 backwards, 444. So just with and I also saw 333. I didn't call it out though. So I feel the amount of times I get drawn to numbers more indicates it's a more important sort of message. So basically what I'm saying is I'm setting the intention that this is one that whether I publish the other ones over the weekend or not, or, you know, I want this one to go out tonight. I still don't have all the answers. So again, this feels like someone's in a lot of pain, confused over what the truth is. That's what I'm getting. And again, that actually doesn't, although this deck's designed from Divine Masculines to Divine Feminines, that actually doesn't, that doesn't rule out, is this about a Divine Feminine, is this Divine Masculine? It's kind of giving me the vibes of two people that are mirroring. You matter. Yeah, I feel this is two twin flames. Now remember, I'm going to channel it like this is just two twin flames, but it's going to be a whole load of people that resonate with it. 555 big changes. So I feel it's like, you know, you both matter to one another. You're both in a lot of pain and confused about what the truth is. So what I'm getting from this is there's something like that's happened. There's something that's happened and you've went into some kind of separation. And the truth has never been spoken about. So that's where it's dangerous, because that's when both people can make up all sorts of things in their heads and come to all kinds of conclusions. And then it's even worse when you get support or guidance or advice from friends, family, even professionals. And then, you know, basically it's what I say all the time, it's better to actually ask the person. And so many people don't do that. I want you to choose in light. Very interesting. So because light is in reverse and I want you to choose, it's like, I feel this is somebody that's facing their shadow side and basically waiting for you to go to them. That's what I'm feeling. So yeah, it does kind of feel like a Divine Masculine that's like doing the shadow. Do you even care? Yeah, someone's in a lot of pain, wondering if like the feminine even cares. Imagine you're naked. And so I sometimes wonder if you care. So yeah, somebody, and also that's a death card. So somebody's going through, you know, I would say this is somebody in the thick of it. Now, whether this is somebody in a dark night of the soul, or perhaps the Cancer in your chart is in like, well, the 4th house is Cancer, but yeah, if your Cancer is in the 4th house, that is a lot of feels. That is very emotional. And I know at least someone watching that is the case. There's probably more than one. And or the 8th house, that could be quite difficult too, because the 8th house is Scorpio, or the 12th house. But I mean, you know, that's just sort of what's sticking out to me. Somebody could be in the feels, because Cancer's trauma as well. I'm too afraid to talk. Yeah, that actually fits with what I'm saying. Like, somebody's like in a lot of pain, too afraid to talk for some reason. So it's either that somebody's afraid to find out what the actual truth is, or it's like, I'm getting this feeling, I'm just tapping into my clairsentience, like, and letting the card back up. Or it's like, I'm getting this feeling that it's like, this person could have, like, you know, come up with their own version of the truth, and then later realising whatever story they told themselves wasn't right. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Wrongful advice. See what I mean? So in that case, it's like you should have listened to God, basically, is what I'm hearing. But it's like, yeah, I feel that is that. Like, something's happened here, right? So it's two twin flames, that something's happened. You haven't spoke about the truth. However long ago this was, by the way, this could be like 10 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, you know what I mean? But it's like, and I feel this Divine Masculines went to others for advice, and other people have, like, basically, you know, it's the usual, giving this person really bad advice. And basically whatever, like, so you'll know for different people it'll be different scenarios. And I basically know this is a fact for sessions that I've done with people. I can even think of like scenarios where things have happened with me and my twin, like, you know, in the past, and it could absolutely be twisted, you know. And it's like, until you actually talk to one another. So there's something, yeah, it'll be different for different people, but I feel this is that really fits with what I was saying. And like, if you think about what I was saying this divine masculines told themselves all kind of stories. It's like someone's giving themselves really bad advice, but it's because it's come from, I feel it has come from others as well. So I don't know what face to do for that. So there we go. Concerned. What's jumped? This love scares me. And it's like, again, it's just this classic case of what I'm feeling is like this. If this is you, you've allowed your own fears to get the better of you and self-sabotage this, which I feel this person knows now, right? I feel all the divine masculines are in this energy, you know this, but I'm just clarifying it's what's coming out. Also, there could be something about November, Scorpio or Sagittarius energy here, or something could be significant about these times of year, you know, when something has happened, or the 11th of a month. But it's kind of like this person, yeah, this divine masculine sabotage things through fear, and it's like whatever misunderstanding, miscommunication has happened, and then you've not spoke about with each other. Other people have got their bit in and made it 10 times worse. What do these say? I need more time. So this masculine's healing. I am coming, trust. Look, I want you to choose. Like, what is this all about? And light. It's like, basically, I feel it's like this masculine saying, like, I can see the light now, because it was in the verse, like, before they couldn't see the light, they were in the dark. It's almost like, yeah, they were cloaked from seeing the truth. Look, 1144 of who you were, the twin flame. And now this is somebody that's healing, Four of Swords, from a traumatic experience. Because they're pulling me the word rest as well. Oh yeah, and then, oh yeah, shit, wait a minute, they're telling me to get the Divine Masculine's card. Because it was actually the Divine Masculine's card that says rest and recharge. So I'm just going to get it. So, yeah. So the Divine Masculine's card is 38. So again, we just have to ignore it. It comes up all the fucking time. If you've been around the last 2.5 years, you will see that the numbers have went up. It's just mental. But obviously 38 isn't significant to everyone, but it is to a lot of, you know, a big percentage of the audience. So, like for that, either being you, your twin. Replenish and recharge. So again, I feel the masculines, it's like you're being guided to cleanse and clear your energy from toxicity, basically. And I feel this is cleansing your energy of toxic advice that you've been given, wrongful advice, but I'm hearing toxic advice. And it's, yeah, I do feel a lot of the masculines right now, you're absolutely exhausted. And basically, Magdalene's portal. So I shared this earlier in the video, but you know, this felt really special because it was like the 6-6 portal yesterday. Now, I didn't really make a big deal about that because I just feel it's ridiculous. It's like every time it's like 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. But again, it is to do with numerology too. So, and I have to admit, like every time it is a number like that, I do seem to pull cards that have got the word portal on it. So, but I can feel it. Like this does resonate. Like, so I'm not going to read it because I read it earlier, but basically, so you can watch that video before, or I'll pin it below. But it's basically the video before this. Magdalene's portal. It does feel like, you know, feminines, you are being guided to go within, to retreat, and this is helping because your masculine is then being guided to mirror that back. Like I said, you could be really in a similar kind of place of resting, retreating, and recharging. Yeah, okay, so, and they just pulled me that. Your spiritual journey is beginning. Like, so, and again, I feel that's got two meanings. That could be that somebody's only in the thick of their spiritual awakening and their healing and cleansing their energy of situations that they've been in before they come forward to a twin. Or that could be the spiritual journeys beginning together. So it'll be different for different people. So I get so sick of saying different for different people. Well, I'll just pull let's pull an overall message for this now, and then maybe I'll pull one at the end. So what's an overall message? No, they're telling me to pull one for the feminine and the masculine, right? Now remember, just because you're a twin flame, it doesn't mean that this is going to resonate with you, so don't make it fit if it doesn't. Oh, interesting. Divine inheritance. Oh my god, right. I think they've just... So I'm going to take it that this is... Now, this is interesting, right? Because Now, I think I will actually, like, you know, I say this all the time, but I usually like the fun of... I don't know, I might not. Like, when I get a new deck, I don't actually study the book. And the only thing I do is I usually look at every card. But I didn't yesterday because you saw that you saw them with me. Sorry, my nose is really itchy now, so that's the loved ones and spirit are coming in to support, because that's my sign for that if you're new. But so I haven't read these, right? I haven't read these cards yet because I haven't, you know, if because I've pulled it like maybe a couple for myself since I got them yesterday, but I haven't read these ones yet. But so before I read this, in case it says the same, like, look, she's healing him. So I feel this actually could specifically be like, and she's healing him in person too. So, you know, some of the feminines watching this, you could be like myself, and you know, you've got like healing hands. And so this is either in person, this is what's going to happen whenever this energy catches up, because I'm just channeling the energy when this happens. Everything I do is timeless. Or this could have already happened if you've already been in a scenario where you saw them physically, and you know, because you don't need to be, you don't need to be putting your hands on their head, like, you know, because this looks like Reiki, or this could be any type of healing. That, you mean, there's again, you know, side note, it makes me cringe, right? Because it's like there's so many like fancy healing modalities that are out there now, and you really got to be careful, because there was like, you know, in one of the online sort of circles I run in, you know what I mean? Like someone was mentioning something, right? And I was all right, I'm always open minded, and I went and looked at it, and it was actually like, you know, the origins of it were basically like where this person had got her teachings from. I knew it was basically something that is like, no, something that I really want to be dealing with, because it was like people that got involved in pushing the thingamajigger and everything. So, you know what I mean? And it's like I said, you know, they're making me talk about this a lot just now, because well, it is part of, it's to do with my North Node. My North Node is in Gemini in the 8th house. So again, that is about talking about, and controversial as well, like expressing the truth, the painful truth, because Scorpio's secrets. And so basically, you know, the stuff that I share, it is going to enlighten people and it's going to awaken them, but it's painful truths, you know, and this is something that does need to be spoken about, because, and it's, I think because it's been that long ago now, you know, that it's like, I'm long, like I said, I'm long past to getting angry about this. This is why I say all the time, anybody that, you know, I perceive treated me badly, fucking, it was pretty much everyone, during the times of, you know, when we had to make our own decisions for our own body, and then suddenly everybody decided to bully every man and their dog around them if you didn't do what everyone was doing, like hypnotised to do it. Because that's basically what it was. It's, you know, that's what Stockholm syndrome is. You know, people were hypnotised to do it. I said it earlier, and it's truth. But basically, yeah, because I can stay in my, I mean, I'm only human, right? So like, you know, if I dug up memories, you know, going right back to the moments when I've been feeling very isolated, lonely, alone, struck, and all this kind of stuff, then, you know, it could bring up anger. But mainly it's like whatever, right? It's past now. You know, am I due a shitload of apologies from the, absolutely. Am I going to get them? Probably fucking not. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've just accepted that. But what I'm interested in is, for people that, you know, like I said, if people can actually admit that, and that's nothing to do with, like, that's by the by with me, you know what I mean? It's about people's sovereignty and energies. It's like, if people can actually see, shit, if I had been awake, spiritually awake to this, I wouldn't have made that same decision. That's when I can work with you. And you can see how that is exactly the same, in my opinion, as hypnotherapy. So, for instance, I said that to somebody recently in an email, I don't know, a month ago or something, an email, that when people are guided to work with me in sessions, like if you've got particularly really heavy stuff, and particularly like ongoing like illnesses, like, you know, again, anything to do with the mind, body, you know, anything basically that's been troubling you, but particularly if it's been an ongoing thing, you've got whether you're aware of it or not. And again, this is a triggering but true statement. That's my wee saying that I made up some years ago. If you're really attached to that, you're not going to let it go. And it's the same with people that are in like addictive, codependent, like hookups, situationships, like even serious relationships, you know, definitely serious relationships, because that can be some codependent marriages and stuff. But, you know, family members, codependent friendships, I could go on and on and on. Codependent work relationships. Think about how many people have been in a job for like 30 years. Basically, you have to want to give it up. So you have to recognise, I don't want this anymore, but I keep going back to it. And now, shit, wow, this is fascinating. I've just realised that's why I'm watching that. So I'm halfway through watching, why can I never remember? Oh, James English, that's it. I'm halfway, again, I don't always watch his stuff, but every now and again I will. And it's like, I was really guided to watch. It's this, so if you're in the UK, you'll know, but if not, you maybe don't. But it's like in the UK, there was this girl that she's actually only a year older than me, but she's really, really pretty, blonde girl, just a really pretty girl. You know, she was totally hot. She was like a lads mag kind of favourite at the time. And anyway, but she, you know, she's basically ages with me now, a bit older, and she's sharing her story, and you know I've only got halfway through, but she's basically so far sort of shared about basically what she's describing as trauma bonding, very abusive toxic relationships. um like it was making me, you know, I was tearing up at some bits listening to it, because this is the stuff that I've helped people with for years, where it's like she basically stayed with this guy because she was like feared for her life. Do you know what I mean? She was scared that like something was going to happen to her, and I feel that's, you know, that's the case for a lot of people. um well, I fucking, like, again, I know that for a fact, because you wouldn't believe the things that I've helped people with over the years. And again, this is where I just kind of have to stop, because um yeah, I'm not going to share any more about that, but I've helped several people with very, like, you know, film worthy escapes, and like, you know, and more than just one person. It's a few people. um but and yeah, and anyone that I've ever helped with stuff like that, I'm in complete awe of. You know, they're warriors, because, you know, although I have supported people with these things, at the end of the day, if the person isn't wanting to get out of those situations, it's not going to happen. So, you know, it's that's why I always say that at the start of my videos, that I am empowering you to empower yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, you might see me as your healer, but I am a healer for you to heal yourself. You know what I mean? I'm holding space for you to heal yourself, which is what any good healer does, because healers aren't perfect. We're, you know, we have to heal our own stuff too. It's just that we've healed mostly, is the way that I would say it, is that you've worked through a lot of stuff that the majority of people coming to you haven't, and that's why I feel, you know, different people are guided to you. And it doesn't matter about age as well. Like I say all the time, but a vast majority of people that I heal, give or take a few people here and there that are younger, most of the people that I heal are actually 10, 15, sometimes more than that, older than me. Like 30 years, you know, older was like what I was, actually more than 30, more like 40 years, 40 years older than me. Um, and then more recently, actually, I was talking to somebody that was like a bit ages of me and a bit younger. So it's quite interesting how, you know, it changes. What I noticed I think that was a few weeks ago. I was like, that's nuts. Like since 2020, I've noticed. In fact, let's go back to 2019. I noticed 2019. It was actually, there was a lot of people mid 20s to 30s that were coming to me, like the majority. Then 2020, it was a lot of people, yeah, similar ages. Then 2021, it's basically went up, like people in their mid 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s was a lot of like, definitely last year. I didn't work with loads of people one to one last year, because that was quite a turbulent time for me and the collective as well. But it's because, again, the collective was turbulent, therefore I was feeling. But when's it not been? Um, and but you know what I mean. It's went up in age, because then it's this year I've had people in their 60s to mid 60s. So it's just kind of fascinating. You know what I mean? And people of other ages. So blah blah blah. But what I'm getting from this is, I do feel that this is either past, because remember, everything I channel is past, present, or future. It's Akashic records. This has either happened in the past, it's happening, you know, could be happening in your present time, or it's a future event where a divine feminine is going to be healing a divine masculine. And again, you actually heal each other. Twin flames heal each other, but this looks like, you know, somebody is actually a healer. Yeah, so it's like somebody has healed what they were meant to alone, and now they're guided to go to their twin. And again, you know, that is, it's a two-way street. You'll find that, like, you know, I was actually having a conversation. This is the last conversation I had on Zoom with one of you guys. Was, you know, I actually described it as, I feel like a bit of a table that's missing a leg. Do you know what I mean? Or a table that's, say, if it's a table with four legs, I feel like I'm somehow standing with it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm missing a leg. Like it's not in. I'm just wondering what that noise is, because what was that noise? Because oh no, it is on. It's the washing machine. I was like, the washing machine isn't on, but it is. yeah, not in a codependent way. It's just like, I definitely know it's like the growth on my specific twin flame journey is kind of halted until I'm able to get closure and have a conversation with my twin flame. Is the way that I'll just leave it. This is hilarious. Look what the Divine Masculine's card is. The truth is revealed. Revelation. So I think I want that to be the thumbnail. Or and the fact that I feel like the fact that these cards seem to be the main feature again means something. Like these unions are coming together. Like Mary Magdalene, Jesus vibes. But yeah, so this is definitely look that I feel. Oh my god, oh my god, that's so creepy. This is what I mean by, right? Like other people might put, I'm not other people, so I just own how I am, right? But other people might put it over real formally, like, I'm channeling Mary Magdalene and Jesus and or I'm channeling the fifth dimension of the seventh to the second right clouds in the sky. I'm just taking the piss. But do you know what I mean? Whereas I'm not really like that, right? I'll be bringing through huge messages if you've got the eyes to see. Like, I know, and that's not me being big-headed in. I just know that they're huge messages because they're like, this is a big message. And other people that kind of know that are on my radar too are like, wow, that's, And again, like I said, there are, there's other channels that watch me. So I know that for a fact, right? So I just know that for a fact. Because not only can I feel it, like I've actually interacted with them. So, but basically what I'm saying is it's like I'm saying that's amazing because again if you're new around here like I say God speaks through me. What I was saying there about when I said to one of you recently I feel like a bit of a table that's missing a leg, and I did say I was like not in a codependent way because I've worked through the codependency. It's just like I know that it's halting how far I can go with certain things. Like I can find workarounds, but it is quite annoying, and it is the spiritual warfare part of it, and it's just why I say you have to pray for your twin flame every. I was like your person, but you have to pray for your person, your twin flame, like every single day. And divine masculines, if you're awakened enough and you're watching, pray for your divine feminines too. It's not going to do any fucking harm, but get involved basically. Pray for your fellow twin flames as well, but. I'm saying that's amazing because that card is divine inheritance, and that's what I'm meaning as well. It's like, as twin flames, we're meant to be receiving our divine inheritance. So if you haven't received your divine inheritance for sharing your gift, and remember, I've been out here for almost 10 years sharing my divine gifts for mostly free. Yes, I get paid clients, but again, I'm sure if we got some kind of chart and tally, the free work would completely overtake the paid work, which is why I say like this is really like ministry work, because if you follow other sort of biblical people and that is what that's all about. They're given the word of God, but they're encouraging you to sow back into the channel. So I'm just stressing that again, but it's kind of like, so that's why I do this because I love helping people. And like I said, if I could do this for free, and basically I am doing it, you know what I mean, but it's like this is what this is about now. It's like that's what I think they're meaning. It's like there's certain, if you're meant to work on somebody in business, which is what most twin flames, not all twin flames, but a lot of twin flames are. It's like there's certain parts of it you can't move forward until they're here and you put your heads together because it's literally the other half of your soul. So this is if you don't feel like that's the case with you and your twin, I don't think I don't think this is really going to resonate for you. Do you know what I mean? If you kind of feel like, yeah, but that's basically the message coming through. So anyway, that's really quite amazing. So that's coming through, and the truth is revealed. So let's read these then. So 29. And basically what I'm saying is like, don't, if you're divine feminine, I'm sure I don't need to tell people this, but for some reason they're telling me this, don't go like chasing running after somebody like, we've got a mission together, you're my twin flame, we're meant to do great work in the world. Like, don't do that, please don't do that, right? And actually, if you're doing similar to me and people could see what you're saying about twin flames, or even if you're not, your primary thing isn't talking about twin flames and you're doing healing work and that, and it's like now and again some twin flames will come to you, and not because again, can I just stress as well with that, like, there okay, now I used to be able to say years ago that I've never seen anybody else claim that the only people that they attract for healing are twin flames. But now probably there are people, you know, that are out there saying that, or that is the case. But at the time, you know, that wasn't the case, you know. And if truth be told, there's actually a lot of people out there that for all you know, like I could have been the person that has enlightened them to be in a twin flame, because I know that that is the case for at least a few people, do you know? And it's like, because remember, when I would have actually said that to some people, I wasn't wanting it to be known that I was a twin flame, let alone, you know, anything else. So people, you know, wouldn't have, I don't feel people will have told other people, like, oh, by the way, that's the person that told me I was a twin flame. So that's how long I've been on the scene, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But basically, yeah, so this is just basically the point is your twin flame will get that knowing themselves. So it's just that old chestnut of what I always say, and what anybody else hopefully that you're following, as well as they're, you know, as long as they're genuine and they're telling the truth. That just, yeah, heal yourself, come into inner union, and the rest all slots into place. It doesn't mean, and by the way, can I just stress, because it's like, you know, I don't know, but yeah, it does kind of make me worry sometimes, because it's like sometimes I've caught people over the years where it's like, I'm like, oh God, like, you know, I kind of worry, because it's like, you know, it kind of seems like sometimes people think if they're in a peaceful place of inner union, that it's going to happen really soon. And, you know, that simply isn't the case. You know, like you can actually be in that peaceful place of inner union for quite some time. And that's a test of faith itself. And that's where, you know, I would lean upon, you know, the terms like kingdom spouse and that for understanding that. Like, you know, it's, you've got to keep praying for your twin flame or your kingdom spouse, whatever you want to call it. Because like I said, to me, and that's just me personally, make your own, like I said in another video, march to the beat your own drum. It probably, because I am so connected to the Mary Magdalene and Jesus energies, that kingdom spouse really does resonate with me. And it's not because I'm jumping on the bandwagon. Like that's always resonated with me. And that's why it confuses me. Like I said before, when I've caught somebody else that is like, you know, giving God's word, which I do feel they are, but then it's like they're really against twin flames and they don't think it's the same thing, and that baffles me a bit. But again, it's like I said, this is so weird, but I do get it, because this is a conversation I had with one of yous on the Zoom, that basically I am here to be that middle ground, you know, that it's like I am very connected to God, and I'm very connected to using my oracle cards mainly, but my tarot too. And basically whatever is around that I read the fucking room, like people and things. If there's a spider, you know, if there's like the washing machine went there, that would have meant something as well, by the way. And it's like, you know, it's, I'm an oracle of anything, so I can just, you know, I'm a shaman, so I'm a bridge between heaven and earth, bloody blah, blah, all this kind of thing. And so if you feel like that too, because I know that like from at least some of the Zooms I've done, some of you feel like that too, that's okay. Like I'm not standing, but maybe I will be standing, saying that to a crowd one point, but at some point, but it's like right now I'm sitting saying that's okay. That's how I am. 33 minutes, Jesus, forgiveness. You know, I don't care that there's some people out there that won't approve of that are only God's word, and for some reason picking up a card, you know, even though this is biblical, got beautiful words in it, oh, you're a sinner, do you know what I mean? Or like, you know, if you're like in the tarot community and that, and you're kind of like, I don't know, being too biblical, although that doesn't tend to be the case. Again, that's, oh God, I don't know why they make me talk. It's probably because of all the Gemini energy in my chart, but it's kind of like, um, that's why I always stress, like, I'm not a fan of like return to sender and all that. Like, I just, again, every time I say this, I say the same thing, but it's true. I think that is fucking beyond nasty and so wrong. If you consider yourself a healer or a reader, and you're saying that, you know, people are going to do what they're going to do, but I suppose it's like, you know, I would just ask people to consider whether you think that's right, you know what I mean? Because it's really like hurt people, and it doesn't mean, oh, you excuse everybody that's like, oh, you know, horrible to you. And no, far from it, you know, like, you know, basically move away from them, set boundaries, and you can forgive people, but you don't need to be around them, kind of thing. But yeah, I always wish for people to get the healing that they need, rather than sending negative energy back to people, because people that are capable of the most evil things, like 9 times out of 10, they've had like really horrendous things that have happened to them, and they really need healing. And again, I know that, yeah, some people are beyond healing, you know what I mean? Like, mostly I'm of the, because I'm carry, you know, that kind of energy, like the codes are like Jesus and Mary Magdalene. It's like you can be reborn. So if you've done bad things in your life and you want to repent, like, you know, it's like I definitely do feel, you know, if you confess and you like privately, you know, to the higher powers and release it, or like to people like me, like again, that's what I said with my eighth house energy. That is definitely what I'm here um to do, is to, if you need to get things off your chest about either painful stuff that's happened to you, or things that you're not proud of, so that you can be free of, like, you know, of your inner demons really, or literal demons. And now I'm starting to cough, so they want me to carry on. But all right, interesting. Right, okay, so let's read this. So this was the card for Divine Feminine, but remember, this can be Divine Masculine's feminine side as well. Could be something about the 29th of June too, because the card is the 29th and the other one is 44, so 44 could be significant too. Divine inheritance, positive flow, balance your energy patterns. A healer may help. Oh, right, yeah. So, I mean, it does, you can tell that from the picture. A healer may help direct energy flow, or you may be trained in a modality that accomplishes this. Share your gifts with others. And remember, you know, people's gifts have been activated simply by watching my videos, like true story, for years now. So if you're watching my shamanic journeys and, you know, you feel like, you know, the different, like for instance, at one point when I was talking, I didn't say it because I was in the flow, but I could feel my back was really hot, and that's when the healing is going to the heart chakra. But yeah, that's a true story, you know, like when we're on a live, you know, people usually more or less on every live, people will be sharing about different experiences they've had with me of late or in the past, like and then there's, you know, there's also been people that, like, you know, that have followed me for years, and I know that from like doing closer work with me, either in group work or constantly watching my shamanic journeys stuff, like their gifts have, there's definitely a connection with their gifts coming on full on with watching my stuff, and then they're usually the people that slink off. So do you know what I mean? And again, like, who knows why that happens, right? You know, but that's common too. But anyway, I'm grateful for the people that hang around. But and again, for a while that stopped me doing my thing, because apart from ending it, just it's, yeah, it's just hurtful really. Like when, because it feels like people are kind of, it makes me, and again, I'm not speaking for everyone, but they are making me say it. It kind of like, it makes me wonder how grateful people are. You know what I mean? For me, sticking my neck out in the line, doing that for free, and then knowing that that's like help you, and then people think off, and then they pop up or something, and then they don't say who helped them when they're, you know what I mean? It's kind of, but anyway, whatever. But again, this is, it's important. They make me say this because it's like that stuff coming up from back throat chakra. Because I have to say that's, you know, it is a lot of people, but it's not, you know, there's a lot of people that can counteract that. So because at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do. Do you know what I mean? Like clear is, means clear quartz crystal. You know, I'm a generator in human design. All the things from different things like that. My energy basically expand, like it does expand people's gifts. And like think about what my course that I will run. I think I'll run it at some point this year. If put it this way, if August isn't too hot, I like Leo season, so if I'm not too caught up having fun in Leo season, then you know, I'll definitely run it then. But that's my activate, amplifying, awaken your clears, because people's clairvoyant, clear everything gifts do, they expand from being around me. So every cell vibrates with electric magnetic energy. A trained healer knows how to use universal energy and direct it with intention. A negative or blocked energy pattern can be altered to be a positive flow by a healer consciously connected to source. And again, that, if you think about it, like, it's important that I'm sharing that, because that is why I share my healing so freely, because I know that it comes back around to me, and I also know, and that's why I share all the time about karma and everything. I also know that if people watch me and they're like, oh yeah, I can just kind of keep watching all this shit and not give back to her at all, and maybe even, you know, well, I don't like this phrase, but I keep catching general readings where they're talking about copycats, and I just don't like to think into it too much, because like I've said before, fucking hell, if somebody's trying to copycat me in any sort of way, and especially if they're trying to fucking anyway, um yeah, interesting. But I have had that happen. But I have had people do that with my work over the years. But now I just don't, I've not sort of, yeah, it's not come to my knowledge, and, you know, fucking let them crack on, because like I said, that like it is just bad karma that will come for them. And if people have tried to do that in any other kind of way in my life, even more bad karma. But but yeah, they did want me to mention it because I caught bad teacher. That's kind of interesting when I'm talking about this too. Oh, I don't like that. Because in Bad Teacher, which is really hilarious, I find it easy watching. It's, you know, Cameron Diaz is like the hot teacher who's just like hilariously not doing anything ethical. Um, but I was drawn to certain bits, you know, and there was a bit like she's textbook, you know, kind of just like, it's like she's been possessed by a demon, because it's like, particularly like, you know, I was drawn to the bit in it where she like, you know, it's quite funny too, but you know what I mean, it's like the other woman is going out with Justin Timberlake, and then she basically seduces him, and they don't have sex, they try hump, but anyway, it's like, you know, but she makes sure that the phone's the one, so that they hear, you know what I mean, so, and it's just kind of like, although that is a hilarious film, like that is like, I mean, it's like so toxic. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's so funny because I can think of things I've heard in the past where people have done that by accident. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like fucking. I don't know about you, but that's why it's like, look, I think it'd be a good idea to leave your fucking phones on the kitchen table. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I worry about with things like voice activated things and that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. I think that was a thing for a while, eh? I don't think phones do that now. Maybe I'm wrong. Alexa and shit does all this crap. I mean, I've not got that, but when I was at my pal's not that long ago, she was like, Alexa, do the hoovering. I'm only joking. It's only a matter of time though. It was like, Alexa, turn the porch light on. I don't know, or some shit like that. But it's kind of like, do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, what if, like, you know, what if you're in the throes of passion and you say something that sounds like, you know, a family member's name or something, and before you know it's phone, you know what I mean? It's like, but there could be something weird that this could be, have some kind of weird relevance to someone. But the point was, it was more I was being homed in on. That wasn't, you know, that wasn't because she thought that she could get him. It was just because she could, to hurt the other woman. Now the other woman's a total dick in the film, right? So it's just the bit. It's just the bits of what I'm saying. It's like, it's malicious, and that's what I feel some karmic energies are. I must stress, it's not all karmic energies, right? So like, you know, it's, you might not have any idea if your person's karmic energies are this bad. All I know is this is what I know from the people that I've worked with for nearly 10 years. It doesn't mean it's yours. It doesn't even mean it's like, you know, things to do with Mathwin's energy. But I don't know. All I know is this is what is coming through. But just with me talking about this and Bad Teacher, I do feel that it's like, at least somebody watching this, it's like, well, just take note of that. You know what I mean? That it's like, I think some of the advice that you could be getting, it's just funny because I'm just noticing some of the synchronicities I've had recently is a lot of the stuff that again is coming out about the, you know, the things that went on over the past couple of years, and, you know, the things that were pushed and the decisions that were made and the side effects that people are having and have been having the whole time. I mean, you only need to look at something like, there's one of those doctors that I've shared his videos a few times. He's at 3 million now. And that was, you know, I shared his video when he seemed to be waking up about, I don't know if it was like 6 months, could have even been longer ago. But he quite often has people sharing their injuries, if you know what I'm saying, their V injuries. I can't even tell you the last time I watched one of his videos, but when I did, they're very factual because he's a doctor, and and I admire it because again, I'm very discerning. I'm like, is this like a plant or is this it? But it doesn't seem like it because he was pushing it and he's taking it himself, and it seems like he's, you know, had the horrifying realization of what it is and done the homework, and he's trying to share. So, you know, I'm amazed that he's still actually allowed to be putting that out. That's why I'm like, what's that all about if somebody's still able to share, you know what I mean? Because we're so censored. But anyway, so yeah, I do kind of feel there might be something like that. Like basically what I'm saying is a lot of the synchronicities I've had recently is I keep catching people talking about, you know, there was a lot of apparent psychics and channelers, some really huge channels that were like, you know, oh, I'm pulling through that, you know, we're being told that this is a good thing, and you know, you know, it's trustworthy. And that's what I've said all along, you know, just because somebody's like, oh, I'm shooby doo from the Wawa planet of Boogergy, I'm just coming up with it. You know what I'm saying? No, I can see right through people like that. Do you know what I mean? It's their plants. So, because look, the angels, for all the fours, because the angels are guiding me. And again, remember, I don't say that in every video because I just think it's cringe. It kind of doesn't really fit like my shadow side, you know what I mean? Because I'm, and I'm wearing black today too, so it's like, I'm wearing black and white, so I'm yin yang, I'm light and dark, so it's because I've got my jammy bottoms on. I'm light and dark, so it's like meaning that I've healed my shadow, and I always continue to look at the shadow parts that I need to heal more. But it's like I'm comfortable with my flaws and the bits that I'm not so proud of and everything, and um it's acceptance, it's self acceptance. But what I'm saying is it's like so I just think, it's kind of like I don't suit to be like too flowery, I suppose, although I'm also, that's hilarious, I'm a flower medium. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. I like the badass side of me too, because again, like that's my whole thing is badass boundaries as well. So, because I'm always teaching people about boundaries, because you do have to have badass boundaries as a twin flame, but you do have to have badass boundaries with everyone. And so actually, they're pulling me back to, you know, that must be why I was just guided to watch that interview with Jennifer. It's Jennifer Ellis. She was on a soap when I was growing up, and then she basically just fell in with the wrong crowd, was with a guy that was caught up in gangs and stuff like that. And I've only watched half it, but basically what she's describing is like PTSD, like trauma. And it was, my heart was going out to her too, because I'm like, I wonder how open-minded she is to like healers. And like, so basically, from what I'm hearing, like she needs soul retrieval, because basically there's not one person walking alive that doesn't need soul retrieval. Like even us shamans that are like healing people, like we still need to. That's what I meant by I have healed a lot of my shadow and I've integrated it enough to be helping other people with it. But I always have to, be checking in with myself as well. And it's kind of like, and that's why we have to, I have to notice when to go to other people as well. And it's kind of like, but I'm extremely discerning, and it's, but yeah, like I said, I know that around the time when all that was getting pushed, because lots of people would use that as an excuse back to me, like, oh, I'm listening to such and such, and they're saying it's okay, and it's like, well, look. And I just have to step back and let people make their own decisions. But all I know is, I think that's what maybe that's got to do with bad teacher. It was like, someone basically, if there was any kind of like felt like it was you were being pushed to do something, like like you were being guilt tripped, because a lot of people, it's like, oh, you have to for work, or you have to get on a plane, or you have to keep other people safe. Like you were, again, I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of that, but I was put in umpteen personal situations where that happened to me, where it was like people were like overly putting on stories of like somebody ill in their life and how selfish it is, the people that aren't. I mean, like, when I was in that scenario, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, it was so passive aggressive because the person wasn't just actually coming out and saying it. And it's, that's fucking toxic. So again, this is what I mean by bullying. That's covert bullying, but nobody will ever admit to that. And good luck if you get an apology if it happened to you. But forgive them anyway, or come and confess the anger and the frustration with me, and I'll help you. And again, like I said, if you're on the other end of it and you're like, fuck, I got hypnotized into it, like, come and confess your sins, I mean, whatever. Right, so every cell vibrates with electromagnetic energy. A trained healer knows how to use universal energy and direct it with attention. A negative or blocked energy pattern can be altered to a positive flow by a healer consciously connected to source. And what I'm saying is, anybody that partook in that experiment, you were locked off. Now, if those for those of you that then, like at the upper chakras, seriously, that's what I know that it done. And it also had people crawling with horrible fear energy and everything. But and that's not even getting on to the physical feeling ill and all that. But if you then came to conscious awareness, oh fuck, what did I do? And then you took steps to clear it, then I do feel that you can get that link back. But I don't know who I'm talking to, so I don't know what your experience has been. Every cell vibrate. Wait a minute. An experienced healer can radiate positive healing energy through their hands to rebalance the body's energy fields and restore the natural flow throughout the physical being. This type of therapy raises a person's vibration to a level where healing can take place. Do you know what they're saying to me? Because this was now, we're talking, must be like 4 years ago. I remember being on a Zoom once, and it was a mediumship Zoom, right? And it wasn't like, you know, basically it was through a friend of a friend, and it was actually, you know, it was really interesting and stuff. But and it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like a super famous medium or anything, but it was like through, yeah, it was just, you know, but it was, and the person was really good. But when I got on this Zoom thing, the chat before it started, like, and it was, you know, it was kind of like older women, it was all older women that were on it. Every single person on this group Zoom were talking about, oh, I just got my thingy, and, you know, and I'm feeling ill and on it. And I couldn't believe it, because you're thinking, these people are A, maybe, you know, talking the spirit world, and B, most mediums are psychic too. Not all mediums are, you know, like I said, put it this way, everybody has psychic abilities. Not everybody has mediumistic abilities to the level that others have got, is what I'm going to say. Like, I actually believe everyone's got the ability to be both, right? If you want to, and especially if you've got a strong calling in your heart. But what I would say is, it's like, well, people that have followed my journey for 10 years or longer, if you're in my personal life, well, you see, it's been quite a journey, you know, and it's, you know, self-acceptance, and it means losing a lot of people in your life the more you grow and everything like that. But um what I'm basically saying is, it was kind of like blowing my mind that none of these people that were really psychic got, you know, the ding 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 red flag from the spirit world not to do it. Like, and that's one of these kind of mysteries, like, that I don't know, maybe the collective will reach some kind of consciousness at some point where we can all have a healthy conversation about this. The people that decided to and the people that didn't. And definitely that would be really interesting. I mean, maybe I'm going to host it one day, but it's like, you know, bringing mediums and psychics together. But I couldn't see it happen, because people's egos wouldn't allow it to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? People's ego, especially famous ones, people's egos wouldn't allow it to happen. But it would be brave if people did. Because I'm, you know, like I said, the one thing I learned in my Dark Night of the Soul was how toxic blame, shame, and guilt is. Um, and so it was, God, for a long, long time, months, I was going to even say years, like for a good year, I was studying blame, shame, and guilt, and, you know, the connections to the chakras and everything. And that's why I'm, you know, I'm good at helping people with trauma. And yeah, it just does not serve anybody to blame and shame and guilt trip. But it's one of these things that, like, you know, you can be drawn into doing it, because at the if somebody has been at the forefront or involved in causing you pain, you know, like they've contributed to your pain, it's kind of hard not, you know, for most people, it's kind of hard not to kind of let them know how much it hurt you. But there are ways to be able to say, like, you know, I have to own that, you know, this did really hurt me, but I forgive you, and, you know, I want to let it go. And that's really especially very important for twin flames, but really anyone in life. But that's what I'm saying, is it's like, um, you get some people, you know, going down the route of, I tried to fucking tell you and you didn't listen, and, you know, just basically fuck off, or like, or calling people sheep, or, you know, specifically when we're talking about this kind of thing, and then yeah, or like other people that are just like point blank, like choosing to just stay in the whole kind of ignorance is bliss, and making out that they're not secretly watching YouTube videos at night where people are sharing horror stories about the things they're experiencing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a weird time that we're living in. But yeah, I think so. That's really interesting. I wondered when I was watching that with the title of it. I think there is something in that, you know, that it's like, um, I could go on and on and on about this actually, because it's like what I've said about, yeah, certain spiritual teachers out there as well, that like I used to like them, and then when I actually woke up to that, I couldn't. I was like, what the fuck? I can't wait. And they were pushing the thingamajigger and all that, and weird politics and stuff. A lot of people that designed a lot of the oracle decks I've got too. So I don't associate with their beliefs. I'm just using their cards. It's just a fucking tool to me. Do you know what I mean? That's, yeah, interesting. Very interesting. And it's something that doesn't get spoken about. So I'm speaking about it. Trendsetter. But there's other people that are doing it too. But I'm being guided to do my North Node. You're going to see a lot of that. So if you're not already seeing it, but again, but actually, it comes back down to what I always say as well. It's personal responsibility. So even if you try to pass the buck to people that were like pushing that and telling you to do it, it actually does have to come back around to personal responsibility. They'll be like, well, I was making the right decision for me, and then I was only telling you because it. But you know what I mean. It does come back to you've made your own decision. But I would argue that you feel like you've made your own decisions, but actually you were hypnotized. Like it was what they've done is it is mind control. It is. Yeah. And that's why I've got such a problem with like if anyone was putting a face nappy on a kid, like that's don't even get me like don't even get me started on that. That is like beyond. That is like child. That is yeah. You know what I was about to say. That is like cruel. And that they'll have trauma from that seriously. So forgive yourself if anybody watching this took part in trying to put that on a child. Forgive yourself. But we all need to forgive ourselves for letting children see adults wearing it. To be honest. Um, and I hope I'm not tuning into they're about to start all that shit again because I can feel it coming. Surely, I don't think the collective are going to fall for it this time, but you never know. They fell for it the first time. Right, so I'll be moving away a forest if they do anyway. No, I don't know if I'm joking. This type of therapy raises a person's vibration to a level where healing can take place. Yeshua trained Mary Magdalene these techniques so that they could work on their healing miracles side by side. Naturally, this precious knowledge was inherited by Sarah to use in her life in Provence and her travels elsewhere. It is hard to imagine the many gifts of clairvoyance and healing that were passed to her from the divine union of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And this is like connects to what I was saying, that the people that have stopped these unions, like the karma that is going to come to those people is like, you know what I mean? Because when true twin flames unite, not only are they going to heal in each other what is really needing healing, but you're able to heal all these other people around you. So you know what I mean. Energetically, we're all connected and affected by each other's fields. Be conscious of this when engaged in the healing process of another. When reading for others, be aware of your capacity to absorb emotional problems and negativity from your client. Take care and protect yourself. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I constantly, it's in my room, but I smudged the whole place before I done this because I was doing it anyway. My windows are open and that, so I thought 4 o'clock I smudged the whole place, I smudged the office, and I've like I said, I've got protection things that I do, protection rituals that I do before I come on here. And then like I said, I keep getting the nudge that if I can get in the habit of incorporating, and I'll need to make it something, or I'll just get in a habit of saying what I say in my head. Like I said, I say it silently in my head. So I could just do that actually. I could just come on and say my prayer in my head that I say. But yeah, just be aware of that. You know what I mean? Make sure that you're going to the healers that speak to your heart. And like I said, I'm one with a difference because I'm very connected to biblical energies, but the small print in Bibles, it's not like I'm never going to read the Bible, but I don't like reading any book. Do you know what I mean? It's like this is all right because it's like a couple of pages. Do you know what I mean? But I'm very Edgar Casey like, where I just channel, I soak up the information simply by like there's a couple of nights in a row like I've just had a book on my bed, and I bet you it's because I'm soaking up the knowledge as I'm sleeping. That's what I mean by Edgar Casey. It's so weird, but I don't even need to do weird shit like that. I could just have the bed next to my. I could have the book like I actually keep loads of books next to my bed that I'm never reading because I'm like, oh, I'll read it, and I don't read it. But then the stuff floods in. And that's like massive gifts, or it's weird. So the truth is revealed, revelation. So remember, this is the Divine Masculines card, and this is Mary Magdalene. So the truth is revealed about who your true Divine Feminine is, Divine Masculines. The power of truth will work miracles in your life as you align your soul personality with source. Speak with integrity. People will not be able to unknow the truth once it's said. That is so powerful with what I've been saying. Because that's what I'm saying. It's like it's moving me slightly out of my comfort zone because I'm like, there's a lot of people that will be of the opinion that, all that's in the past, which is kind of toxic to even say that, but all that's in the past, let's not bring it up. But I feel it's been brought up because I feel we could be in for another load of that absolute bullshit pandemic. or something similar. Mary Magdalene holds the white feather of truth. Her story must be known, and the lost bride returned to her bridegroom to restore balance to earth. Again, and this is why the divine feminines don't get even nearly enough respect that they should. Mary would have been no stranger to the Egyptian mysteries, as she may have been priestess of Isis, Mat herself. And again, you'll hear me say all the time if you're around your time, like it's Mary Magdalene and Jesus, it's Isis and Osiris and Saint Germain and Lady Portia that are the main ones that like roll off my tongue. I could probably keep going with other ones, but these are always the three that stick out. Mat was the goddess of truth, justice, and cosmic order. Like, even, you know what I mean? Like, that one resonates too. She was more than a goddess to the ancient Egyptians. They believed the universe had an order to it, and it was Mat who kept everything in balance. Mat was extremely important for assessing the afterlife. After physical death, every person had to pass through the hall of judgment, where their heart was weighed against Mat's white feather of truth. Ooh, I've read that before, but I forgot that. If the deceased person's heart balanced with Mat's white feather, they could continue on their journey to the afterlife. If not, their journey ended in the abyss. This belief influenced the morals and actions and daily life of the ancient Egyptians. Again, and that's why I feel there's a lot of like this ancient Egyptian integrity, moral stuff sort of surfacing again in the collective, because like a lot of us wouldn't go wrong following this shit. Do you know what I mean? Some of us do, but not nearly enough people do. Do you know what I mean? Like, think about how some folk act out there. They seriously aren't thinking about, oh, God is always watching, you're going to be... People don't give a fuck. People act like, oh, I'll just do whatever the fuck I want. Like, you know what I mean? Party till I die kind of thing. But it's like... And I'm kind of not, you know... Where I draw the line is, you know, sometimes when and I haven't heard anyone talk like this for ages, but in the past, over the years, if I've ever heard somebody saying, like, you know, oh, I'm really worried about what's going to happen to me, and that's like, I need to do this, this, and this, I need to tick things on the tick box so that in the afterlife I go to where I'm meant, you know. I think you can take that a little bit. I think the kind of blunt Sagittarius moon side of me is like, look, when I move on to the other side of life, right, whichever plane of existence I'm going to, all I'm concerned with is that I live with integrity, morals, and values, and I stuck and stayed true to myself and my sovereign energy, and didn't give my power away to bullies, basically bullies in the world and bullies in general. And yeah, the truth revealed. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I'll be happy to then slip away whenever it's divinely meant for me. Personally, but where do we get to here? Speaking your truth may open you up to ridicule. Oh, divine masculines, interesting. But think of yourself as planting seeds for people to ponder on. Later they may take root, grow, and flower. And actually, I've just realised, now this is interesting, because I'm about to say I tell a lie. Because, you know, I said, oh, I haven't read these two. I must have pulled that one for myself yesterday or today. It must have been yesterday, because I don't remember doing it today. So, because I'm saying I tell a lie, and this is the Divine Masculines card, I feel that this is about the masculines that are needing to come forward about something they've lied about. Either lied about having feelings for a Divine Feminine, lied to a Divine Feminine, lied to other people, wore a mask, you know, whatever that means. But Divine Feminines have already planted the seed before people understood what they're doing. I'm a great example of that, because I've been planting the seed about ascension, new earth, awakening for, like I said, 9 years now online. Talking about that one day the money system is not going to be the way that we know it, which still, you know, that could still seem crazy. But actually, if you think about things like Bitcoin and crypto and all of that, again, but I have to say, I don't, yeah, you know, people are going to do what they're going to do, but I don't trust any of them, like any of it. Like, I don't trust any of it. I've had people over the years that want me to invest in things like that, and I've, you know, said, oh, you're going to make X, Y, and Z amount of money, and, you know, and I never, I was always guided no. So yeah, and then actually, more importantly, like, then the same things that some people are trying to get me invest in, like, you know, and some people are not pushy, but they kept saying it because they were like, you know, it'll help you and your finances and stuff, and then it tanked. So always trust yourself, you know. And the people I've had, people, you know, it was always like friends that were trying to get me to do that, or friends or even acquaintances that I've met through my work and stuff. It would be coming from a good place, but it was like I was getting, you know, like, no, like, I know people that have basically lost money, so maybe that's happened to somebody too. But because Divine Feminines have already been in a place, and again, you don't need to have been in a place of doing it as long as what I've been doing it, but I know some of you will have been doing it as long as me, maybe even longer than me, some of you watching, but because I think it's always important to acknowledge that. Sometimes I've caught some well-meaning people and they're always like, oh, this person's getting started on their spiritual journey, like, you know, talking about Divine Feminines, and it's like, well, a lot of Divine Feminines have been doing it a long time, and probably longer than the person that's saying it, you know, so I'm just acknowledging that it's like, I've been on this journey a very long time as a Twin Flame, and I don't really see too many other people that are talking about it anyway. It doesn't mean they're not out there. They're probably quite quietly watching, so I'm just acknowledging that some of you might be watching me, and I'm honoured if you've been on it longer than me and you choose to listen. But yeah, I do feel this is about the Divine Masculines are having to be true to themselves and having to share their truths with people around them as well. So, wow, big messages. Right, so, and there does seem to have, in the ones that I haven't published, and so I said it's coming out again, but again, look at what I said. Have I said I want to say something that I'm going to be able to share? And it's like controversial shit again, but it's because the Venus Cazimi, or the Venus conjunction, because I don't know, the word Cazimi just feels like a trendy word that I don't really want to jump on, but I'm saying it. The Venus conjunct the Sun energy, to be different, is, you know, like I said, it's in shedding light on the dark truths in my chart. So it's like I'm having to shed light on the dark truths in the world. And like I've said before, whenever there's huge energies going on in my 8th house, but just because my North Node is always in the 8th house, it has to be uncomfortable truths that I'm given almost like every day on a daily basis. Like they want to push me more and more into, like, I'm meant to always be not in my comfort zone basically when it comes to what I'm sharing, because that's what that means to me. You know what I mean? It's uncomfortable truth. So the you know, the more I get used to it, the better. So, but like I said, it's because it's always going up a gear. I'm always like, oh no. But I just trust, because I've got so much trust. That's how I'm able to instill so much trust when I'm training other people or mentoring other people in their mediumship and their healer abilities, and you know, whatever your thing is, even if it's not, I've not got a skill in it. Like, for instance, like I help a lot of artists. I help a lot of psychic artists. Because again, I really feel that, you know, a lot of people that end up doing art and anything like that, you must have had it somewhere as a child and then you lost it. And I help loads of people that do that, and that's not like obviously that's not one of my main abilities of all the things that I can do. Like when I do dabble in like doodling and art and everything like that, you know, people actually have really loved it. So maybe at some point later down the line I will be guided to pursue that. But I doubt it, or any time soon, because it's not there's not a want in me, do you know what I mean? Right. But I can help people with stuff like that, because it's like some of the process of working through the fear is the same. Right, so, God, this is well on for ages, but wait a minute. See, I mean, I'm even different in the way that I'm sitting doing this on a Saturday night, do you know what I'm saying? But I love it. I don't always do a video on it, but it's, I was guided. What does this say? Silence, frozen, no words, stonewall, and chasing, pursuit. It does say toxicity and resilience, but I feel somebody that's been silent is about to start chasing, because I wasn't even, that card deck's actually through another room. Right, in a past life, what do we need to know about the feminine? And also they're pulling me to surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. So yeah, I really do feel that's a masculine, that's surrendering limiting beliefs and outdated, something that was true, like perhaps being afraid to come forward isn't true now. In the past, as feminine, you were an orphan and you were persecuted, or there's some kind of inquisition. So, you know, perhaps you were persecuted for having like clairvoyant gifts or something. You know, perhaps people frowned upon that in these times, and then you could be living it out again in, you know, the modern, and you know, you were some kind of orphan, so you could be carrying, you know, abandonment wounds, and that's obviously not everyone. It's just a bit resonant. It's just interesting to use these cards, isn't it? And the masculine, Greco-Roman, so something about Greco-Roman times. And again, I don't know loads about that, so I'm like, I'm moving on. And again, like I said, I could probably I bet if I held the card, I could let stuff flow through, but because it's already been an hour. It's like moving on. Orphan, wow. Ooh. Oh, that's really interesting. Right, okay, so what I'm getting here is I feel, now I've shared about this before, but it's very common for twin flames that you've had, you know, and this is not news to people that are twin flames, but you've had many past lives together. And in some past lives, you might have actually been like literal twins. So I feel that this is the case with whoever I'm picking up on. Like, you could have been, like, you know, twins, yeah. And then you were orphaned, because we've got father there as well. So, but I mean, orphan is you wouldn't have either parent, so I don't know where father fits in it, but yeah, I'm strongly getting that it's like, this is definitely going to be that you've had a past life where you were actually twins, and then you've been separated, and like, you know, like I've shared this before, but I know that that is the case in my journey as well. Like, it was really real. Communal living, health. So there's the healer aspect coming through again. So in a past life, I feel, oh look, that's kind of what I was hearing them say it, and then I didn't say it. But what I was, who says that, like, you know, if you resonate with that, because again, it's not just me that's had that. I know other twins, so it's like I'm saying it. They're using my experience to get, you know, for who this will make sense to. But like, so say like you're the female in this life, you could have been like the wee boy in that life, and they could have been a girl, you know, or like you could have been two girls or two boys, or and you had that bond in a different way, and then in this life you've got the link. So it can be kind of hard to get your head around, but galactic. And again, this masculine was very connected to the stars and the pattern, the arts. And look what I was just saying about the art. Yeah, I was feeling that it was more on the masculine side. Like, this feels like a masculine regards to gender that was very connected to like art and being an artist, maybe even a singer, dancer, something like that in a past life. And these gifts could be getting reawakened in this life. I have noticed that, you know, like predominantly, I'm not going to say it's across the board, but with people I've worked with, it does seem to be more divine masculines, like male or female, that are drawn to do like literal painting and drawing and artwork. And divine feminines are more drawn to, like, you know, being a healer and speaker. And I mean, it's, you know, there's people that are examples of either, but it's just, yeah, probably the vast, because like I said, I have helped loads of people with their artwork that are in divine masculine energy, and I've helped people that then shift into them. But anyway, so what, tell us something about in the past, like, they might still bring through the past life, but in the past, the feminine, something about the feminine views of the ego. So I feel there's something about in the past here that, again, and they did answer what I wanted there. This is in this life, in the past, this masculine has given you huge mirror work, basically, because like, look, in that card, it's like the guy's having to like check himself in the mirror. It's like your twin has provided you with, it feels like what they're saying is, I'm just laughing because it is so true, but it's like, just when you thought that you'd reached a really good place of balance and peace and not being able to be triggered by, not anyone, but, you know, not be able to be triggered as much as what you were by either your twin or other people. I feel you've been given a challenge where something really has triggered you, you know, and it feels like with a twin. And so that's in the past in this life. So again, it could be something like, you know, they get involved with somebody just to get your attention. Or, I don't know, anything. I could go on and on and on. But it's something. And what else? Oh, wishes fulfilled. And add some. So again, this is the card I'm like. So I feel the add some card, I think that's about when you say, like, I am this, I am that, like the power of I am. And wishes fulfilled. So again, but I feel it's like, yeah, it's like, use this feminine. Remember, past, present, future. You've had to really keep affirming what you want, because it's like you knew that this masculine was your wish fulfillment. And again, I'm going to lean upon what I said about the kingdom spouse. Like, you know that this person, because I started channeling it and then I went off talking about other stuff. It's like, you know that this is who God has chosen them for you, and you for them, and you just know that they're not consciously aware of it yet. Or again, some of them are now, but you know what I mean. And so when you know that, and if you know, you know. I can't tell you how you know. You know what I mean? How are you meant to forget? How are you meant to forget that that's your wish fulfillment? It's impossible. That's how strong it is in some people's, etched in some people's souls and hearts. You know what I mean? Right. That's deep. What have we got for the masculine? That's amazing. I don't know what this one says. Oh my god, every time the Divine Masculine always gets this card right. I'm going to read the two positive ones and then I'll show the other one. So the reason I was saying wow is the masculine's got the muse. So think about it, it's like the way I'm asking it, it's like towards each other. So the masculine really triggered the feminine's ego. So basically they showed you where you've got more work to do. And that's when you know it's your true twin flame, because they do. Because like, you know, I'm not going into details, but yeah, like more than likely I can feel that I triggered the fuck out of him, right? But he triggered the fuck out of me too. So it's like whoever sees me as like my calm, peaceful Claire, if somebody was going to be able to, you know, shake that, it's going to be him. Do you know what I mean? But it's because he is my mirror. So it's, you know, and like I always say, it's like that's why I just said that about there is a balancing that needs to come about. There is a well, conversations need to be had, you know what I mean, for you to find common ground. But basically, yeah, you know, you're amused. To your own masculine, you are amused because you are their feminine energy within them. And when they wake up to that, they're like, oh shit. So yeah, full stop. And Archangel Raphael, you're also their healer. So, I mean, that's amazing, you know, because Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing. And look, now my throat's going. Now, we could say that's because I'm an hour and 16 minutes deep, but I feel it's because I'm on the Divine Masculine energy and they're needing to speak. They're needing to, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's not been shared, that's been pushed down, that they need to share. And it's like, you know, yeah, you are this Divine Masculine's healer, or your Divine Feminine is your healer, your muse. And especially when you're caught in the ruins. So can I just draw your attention to the fact that the 8 could be seen as a strength card, right? Having the inner strength to get through a situation. The Divine Feminines are giving the masculines the inner strength that they need. They're amused, but this is also the 15, the Devil card. Stuck in toxic situations, caught in the ruins. 16, the Tower. The Devil in the Tower, if we look at it that way. But I mean, the caught in the ruin cards, annoying, if I had the book that would be good to read it, but in general that's about somebody that's in a situation, like trapped in a situation, like trapped in their own mind, trapped with toxic energies around them, however many, in whatever situation. And this is definitely about a feminine as a muse, a guiding light, a healer, for them to get out of that trap mindset. I don't think that's because I think the other thumbnail's better, but wait a minute, what is it on the top? Yeah, it is, conveniently. But then again, that, I can't fit them all in, can I? What about that and that? Yeah, get the words in. Just try to find the right angle. I'm the only person that does that I've seen. It's too funny. I don't like, again, I just, you know, it's just annoying. You have to pause to get it. So, like, Jimmy, it's too annoying not to do it. I don't mind it being awkward to get the screenshot. I don't mind if you don't mind, guys. But yeah, so that's really quite huge. That's quite huge, and it's just like the same story, it comes out all the time. But so basically, you are healing and you're inspiring this person to get out of where they're stuck, whether it's a stuck mindset, stuck with people around them that don't support them with their goals and moving forward. I mean, this is the thing. at some point the divine masculines may have felt that these people did support them, and they may have saw you as like some kind of threat or enemy, or because again the people around divine masculines can, they like I've said yesterday, they can turn the divine in whatever way they can. Like these people will lie through their teeth, they will make up the biggest load of shite, or they'll take one grain of truth and run with it. And that's obviously, this is where gossip and fucking Chinese whispers get started. And again, what I always say as well is like, if ever any rumours come from people in the past that don't like you anyway, I mean that's just fucking, sorry to say it, but that's stupidity if anybody believes shit like that. It's like, your enemies aren't going to talk nice about you, are they? So karmic lessons now, and what needs to be released. I think we're just going to run through the rest of it, because it's like, remember, I've got to watch this back, so to be honest, I'm saying you were going to watch this, and you're not, or if you are, it'll be in the wee hours. Depends if I can be arsed watching this back. So what is a karmic lesson? I don't know why I'm shuffling these. Wait a minute, this is what have I done? No, there's already too many cards. I'm not adding another deck. Right, I've picked up like fucking 5 decks together, and this is already 3 decks. So and it's not even all of them, but I trust the ones that are meant to come out will come out. So what is a karmic lesson that needs to be released for the feminine? Trust the niggle. What does the niggling feeling tell you? So point blank, your niggling feeling is telling you something. So I definitely feel that if you're a divine feminine, regardless your gender, and you've got a niggling feeling that your masculine's trapped in some kind of situation, and you're guiding them out of the dark, and you'll find out when you're meant to. Trust that niggling feeling. That's basically what it is for most people. And I would say all twin flames. And masculine, your connection is eternal and unbreakable. That's what the karmic lesson you're releasing, is when you didn't realise that. So at some point the divine masculines have tried to cheat the system and thought they could forget their person. But again, it will be when some divine masculines haven't realised what this connection was. Some do though, like I've said before, there are some divine masculines, they do know you're their twin flame, but they've felt it was going to be too difficult, like, family and friends disapprove of this connection. They just felt that basically they've chose other people over the connection, which is sad to say, but look, this is left out again out of all those cards, so it's true. But now they know that your connection is eternal and unbreakable, and that's why it's brave. Like, those of you that have watched me over the last 2.5 years, you'll have saw me strongly, I mean, it makes me cringe now, but I was strongly sitting there saying, like, if it came down to it, you know what I mean, like, if there was people in my life talking shit against I would choose him. And again, it's like that's what can trigger your ego, when you're like, I can't say the same back, like like that shifts though, that will shift further in line, but it's like when your twin gets it, they'll really get it, and they'll be able to see who is turning people against you. But that, that's again, and look, that's insane. 3 times. What, and it's just reached 1, 2, 3. That came out 3 times for the karmic lesson that the masculine's meant to release. Is any doubt or fear that this is a eternal and unbreakable connection. So I feel that's there's especially, I just want another one, tell us another karmic lesson. It's like, I can feel this collective of masculines have a fear of losing what they're codependent around, like the people that they're codependent around, whoever that is, like present lovers, like friends, family, like it's like, realise that your connection with your twin flame is the strongest connection you could have with anybody, and they're not going to abandon you. Like, no, trust me, the divine feminines are not going to abandon the awakened divine masculines when they're truly awakened and they've got your back. But I feel it comes from the past lives of these twins being orphaned, and you know what I mean, you were abandoned. And I feel there's feeling, although you were orphaned by, your parents dying, I feel there's abandonment issues to it. Like, I feel like one of you has died on the other as well. Like, I actually, to be honest, that has happened in one of my past lives. Like, I'm laughing because it's like, some people haven't got the courage to talk about past lives that they're real, but they are real. I'm a past life, I'm a past life healer. I do past life regression with people, and people cry and do all sorts. You know, it is very real. And yeah, and I definitely know that that was the case in one of my past lives. That it was like I had a vision where it's like he's died, and it's like he's left me. But I closed the door on that. I made peace with it and everything. You know what I mean? But it's like, imagine if I hadn't, because it's like you can see it. But you know, maybe he remembers different parts, but it's quite interesting. Right, so. And for people that think that shit, you know, you could actually do your own past life. You know, you could find out and you could match it up. Right, so. Tell us something else about what this masculine needs to release. But I can't believe that card came out 3 times in a row. Your connection is eternal and unbreakable. You need to release any fears that is not true, because it is true. Wow, the child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. And it's like, I feel this is about releasing the karmic lesson of protecting your inner child too much, because that's what a lot of divine masculines have done and are still doing. They're not wanting to open up and be vulnerable because they've had people in the past that take advantage of that. Like, they've opened up to the wrong people and been burned. But that's where divine masculine, regardless of your gender, you have to go to a healer like myself or anybody that you feel comfortable with that does similar to me. But you are watching me right now, just saying. But that doesn't mean you need to do the deeper work. Maybe you mean, but you know what I'm saying is you need to go to somebody you trust that you can open up to. And the more you're able to open up to a healer or a counsellor, which I'm both, then you're going to be more comfortable being vulnerable with your own divine feminine, because it's not, you know, it's bringing the pain of the past and assuming that person's going to hurt you. And it's like what I'm saying about, because I started talking about it and I keep going in and out of it. That's what I'm watching that women say, that she's got post-traumatic stress from how she was treated previously. But you don't need to live with that pain. And that's where, you know, I'm here to educate people about that you can actually, you know, you can, not just through counselling, you know, through different types of healing modalities. Like, I can get into people's subconscious. It's not just me that does it, but I've got my own unique way of doing it, where I can get in your subconscious and heal the trauma that's happened to you, so that your physiology, I think is the word, changes, because you remember it differently. You know what I mean? Basically, you forget, you'll try to remember the pain, you won't be able to. That's the truth of it. Right, shadow work and blind spots. Let's use this deck for the feminine. Resonant. There's a lot about truth. Resonant truth. Being in resonance with your soul brings all things to light. So again, a shadow work or a blind spot is where is an area in your life where something's not in alignment. So remember, it's because it's maybe a hard truth or a blind spot. Being in resonance with your soul brings all things to light. So it's like there's something I feel you need to sit with and ask personally. I mean, I know where that is in my life actually, but you need to sit with that. Or like I said, go to another healer, another divine feminine healer, because I feel divine feminine. Flow in the rhythm of the divine heart, your cosmic gateway to all of creation. So again, I feel that the divine feminine card coming out for the divine feminine in your blind spot is that this is also saying a lot of divine feminines are actually at this really beautiful balance of inner union where you could actually be quite happy with where you're at. But like, I'm always going to be the person that's like, there's always something. Like, for instance, when I just read that other card, I was thinking about something earlier that was something that it's like, that just that, the words of that resonated. So the masculine, some hard truth, some shadow work or a blind spot you might not be seeing, or you might be in denial of. Wise speak communication, whether written or spoken, hold frequencies that help shape your reality. Well, that fits with what it is, because it's not me, it's God and the guy speaking through me. That's about speaking your truth. Like, holding it inside could literally be making you feel ill. Another one. And remember, Gemini season is about the truth. It's about communication. Way changer. You're a liberating force here to inspire and change and challenge the system. You see how, like, I've given bits and bobs of how, like, especially with that card about like me being a healer, and that's a healer on the card. But actually, if you heard what it said, it was talking about Jesus taught Mary Magdalene the healing techniques, the share with her. So again, it's you could be a divine feminine healer, but when your masculine comes forward, it's like yeah, you're going to activate different kind of healing energies in each other. So, and they could start to remember past life gifts, and yes, it's all quite amazing, really. But yeah, you're here to, you're a way changer. You're a liberating force here, inspiring change and challenge the system. So that's why so many people want to stop you not only being with your twin flame, but also stop you moving on with your big calling. Because chances are the people around you haven't got as big a calling as that, and it's jealousy. You know what I mean? Some of them might, I don't know who you've got around you, but free spirit, the wild heart of freedom embraces the untamed, invoking truth, authenticity, and self expression. So these are the shadow things, remember. So I feel that's like some divine masculines, if this is either your past or it's your present, where you're not speaking your truth, you're not sticking out like a sore thumb talking about what's not right in the world. I'm sure you are about some things. And you're not being a free spirit, like invoking truth, authenticity, and self-expression. Basically, it's like if you're holding all that back, that's your blind spot. But if you're in alignment and you're doing all of that, and you're on the way to going towards your twin, well, you're doing what you're meant to be doing. Gold star for you. And look, with all the shit about me talking about past lives, and there's a past life card sitting there. Right, where's that envelope with my own thing? Maybe I'll actually start to memorise this, but and again, so all the things that I've been talking about here, I've just forgot I've wrote wee notes here. So when I'm talking about the karmic lessons, I could give you soul retrievals for that, right? For the things if you identify as having that. When I'm talking about the things I just spoke about there, we could do hypnosis to work out things for that. What would help with inner union right now? What would help with inner union? Let's use these cards. So, for Divine Feminine, what would help with inner union right now for your Divine Feminine energy? I don't always do it this lengthy, but they're guiding me. The flame. So, that makes sense. What would happen? What would help? It's making me laugh because I know what they mean. What would help with your inner union right now for your feminine energy, so your feelings and your receptive side, is to be open to your twin flame. Full stop, point blank. And remember, that's also the divine masculine's feelings. But I'm going to do the divine masculine's feelings too, but that can be for you too. Divine feminine's masculine side, your decision making, your boundary setting, your action taking. The temple. This is, yeah, and that makes perfect sense because the divine masculine energy was about rest and recharge. So it's also your inner divine masculine energy. Pray, and remember, it was also about praying today as well. Pray, go within, value your sacred temple, your body, your soul. Masculine, before I forget what I say, masculine, for inner union, your divine feminine side, and just to remind you, your feelings, your receptivity, going with the flow. What the fuck? What is this all about? The orphan. See what I mean? So this is only, I feel this is only strongly really going to resonate with you if you have some sort of feeling of a past life like this. Like if you've got really, really strong abandonment issues. So for your feelings and your receptivity, there's something going on with the masculines where, like, look at the snake as well. So can I just be like, again, I know people hear me say this all the time, but I have to stress, snakes in shamanism, snake medicine is actually what I associate with Scorpio energy or Kundalini energy, like, sexual energy. It's very potent healing. I work with snake medicine. It's why I can see through the shady shit that a lot of people can't see through, like in the world that I spoke about in this video, or in personal situations like frenemies, enemies. I can see things that people can't see, basically crystal clear visions. I can see things that other people can't see, and I can activate in you. But it can also just be like a snake in the grass, like that kind of saying. And it's like, I feel that this is like somebody very close around the masculine that they feel let down by. They feel like they've been abandoned in their time of need. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling from that. So, because it's the masculine's feelings, it's abandonment, it's attachment wounds, and it actually fits with what I said. And it fits with every session I do with people too. It fits, like, it's like I'm tapping it. It feels like, you know, this person just feels like they would never get over it if you left them. But that's why that card came out 3 times. This connection is unbreakable. Whatever it said. This connection is unbreakable and eternal. You're not going to lose this person. You could never lose your twin flame. But physically, think about it. Think about all the stuff with twin flame journeys, right? Generally, all the stuff that is usually like the basically the self-sabotaging, which can look like basically somebody's your enemy in some twin flame cases. It usually is coming, well, all the time is coming from a masculine doing things to trigger a feminine, right? To basically to not be up with that shit and love yourself more, and then be open to receive them when they wake the fuck up. But it's kind of like, I don't know to say like that, but that's how it came out. So that's what's kind of mental in a way, if you think about it. That it's like, why on earth would a divine feminine, when they've worked that hard to wake up their masculine, ever want to be the one that told a masculine, I don't want to be with you anymore? It's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? The only way things like that would happen is if a masculine wasn't properly healed and they came back and tried to pretend like they were, and then they do something to purposely hurt you. You know what I mean? But that would just be a masculine that was brilliant, which is why I always stress, you don't want your person to be coming back before they're ready. Like, they're going to hurt you, they're going to really hurt you, because they're going to self-sabotage. So that's why I stress that if you are divine feminine, just keep working on yourself, keep healing, and they'll mirror it back to you, right? But it's like, and not right away either, but it's like, so be carefully thinking that that's already happening and you're like ahead of people, because I think you could be humbled by that. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know who I'm saying that to, but I feel that could be happening for some people. It's not a race kind of thing. Like, believe me, I've learned that in my journey, because like I've said, that I've helped loads of people. I can think of people in person and online where they hadn't even met their twin flame yet. I can think of one person in person where they hadn't met their twin flame yet. And then they met me and we got friendly, and then they met this person and they were still talking to me about somebody from the past, but I was like, and I didn't say it to her, I was just listening intently, and I was like, I'm sure that other guy's a twin flame. And then they did later, the one that is her true twin flame, they did later end up getting together. And she was like, you knew that, eh? And I was like, yeah. But I waited because I had to, you know, she had to realise it for herself. When she outright asked me, I think I gave my opinion, but I think at that point I tuned into whether she knew, because again, that person really trusted and knew my gift, and I didn't want to influence them. But anyway, so again, that's, I wonder if I'm going to bump into her now that I said that. But why have I picked up the comment? Oh, right. So this is the divine masculine's masculine side, right? So again, look, the comet comes out for the masculine quite a lot. I feel this is about, like, look, think about it. That was like a masculine's vulnerability, and this is like the mask. So a lot of divine masculine, your mask, male or female, could be like, you know, being the Joker, or laughing stuff off. And that's what's weird. That's what's going to help you in our union. Maybe you need to cheer up. It doesn't necessarily mean with a twin flame, but I mean, actually, it could be for somebody just because of that. Actually, that would indicate that. And again, it's not like I say that in every video, right? Because like I just said, you need to be dead. But I feel it's like the masculines do need laughter and joy and healing with their twin flame to bring the healing back, you know, after a rough time. They need to be vulnerable to, which would be really vulnerable with some of the stuff that's happened with twin flames. But for ones that aren't ready for that, it could just be about, you know, having a laugh with anyone around you that you trust. Give us another one for inner union for the masculine side. We're pulling out the word celebrate. The bridge. Yeah, look. Wow. Oh my god, this is so deep. That is like the masculine. Remember I said this on a video. I don't know if it was a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago, but I remember this card kept on it. That's a masculine. That can be like a text. That can be like somebody's reaching out to the other one. The bridge. This is like bridging the gap. Mending what needs to be mended. Yeah. That's, remember, this is your action taking side, masculines. That's a clear message, because look, I said all of that, and the reason why I've shuffled is
Just in case you think that like, I've got some agenda, you know what I mean? Because it's like, at the end of the day, remember, I've been doing this for 2.5 years. You know, it is, I've got to be honest. I mean, I'm always honest, but it's like, it does get draining. And I mean, and it feels pretty surreal sometimes as well. And sometimes I just really point blank can't be arsed, right? Most of the time I'm okay with it, but and it's why I'm having to have I'm having to do some really deep shadow work about, like, I know they want me to be basically do it. They want a twin flame therapy every day. They want me to have a video every day, right? But it's like I like it's not that I can't, like, I could push myself, but I think I would be very ill if I done that. But what I could do is I can get a backlog of them, like film a few on the same day. Like, say, you know, like it's late at night, so I'm not doing two a day, but it's like, you know, do one in the morning, have a break, and then do one later. And then it means that I've got, you know, days where I can kick about my jammies and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's basically what I'm saying, right? Because it's yeah, that's the message. It's not always the message. Sometimes it's wait and it's not the right time, but that's not the message that's coming through right now. It feels like, oh yeah, shit. That, wait a minute, that makes sense. This is for the masculines that are in a lot of pain. Sorry, I'm so slow to take. I apologise to myself for saying I'm so slow, but basically I get what they're saying. Orphan. These masculines are feeling very alone and a lot of pain. This love scares them, but you're being guided to reach out. You're so very special to me, 21, because it's the end of a karmic cycle. So this is, if you're a masculine, you're not at this point yet, and you're going through a storm, and you're like, I don't feel in any way ready to, you know, I don't know. Assess that, because you might be catastrophizing how your twin flame is going to be towards you, when they could actually be very calm and just open and ready to hear the truth. And it's like, I feel the need to say that I feel, you know, speaking from as a divine feminine, I think divine masculines need to hear that divine feminines can hear difficult truths and be upset, even be pissed off, or dare I say both, but they're not going to leave you, you know, they're not going to abandon you, they're not going to turn their back on you, because the divine feminines understand that you are the same soul, you know, the same energy. And they just, I don't want to say that divine feminines understand the journey better, because I feel a lot of divine masculines really understand it too. Believe me, they wake up quick and they really get it. But that's how they're guiding me to say it. I'm gobsmacked. I'm going to start crying. And do you know what they're saying? Oh my God. Do you know what they're saying about the catastrophizing? But that could also, to do some shadow work, that could also be reach out, you're wrong. Like, so if you're thinking something bad about your twin flame, like, it could be like you think they're going to react badly towards you, or you're thinking they've done something bad to you. I think that's the answer. And again, look, I mean, I shuffled it. Look how many fucking cards there are. And that's what I was saying. Reach out with a fucking card. And where is that? What's this one? One pentacle. Again, that's a gift from the universe, or that's something. Look, this is like an offer. You're being guided to reach out with an offer, but that could even be like, can I come and see you? Can I come and speak to you? Fucking hell. This is mental. Where's something? Here we go. That might need to be... That might need to be the... What's next? Because I'm just absolutely gobsmacked. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. Do you know what, guys? I'm just going to leave it there and look at something. It's about to reach 144, but I'm tired and I need to go and chill. So I really hope that this served you, and I think that, you know, the message is clear there. This is the ones that need to reach out. So I'm going to put it out there for whoever needs it,
and trust that the messages land with who needed to take. Because look, they're saying to me, I'm just one of God's messengers, especially with all the Gemini energy, and I'm just here to lift the veil. And I think we can all agree I'm certainly lifting the veil on not only the twin flame journey, but a lot of the things going on in the world. But it's certainly not news to a lot of us. And yeah, but I'm here to be a warrior of peace, okay? See you later.